What's going on? It's your boy, The Media Prince, and you are tuned in to Smack Life TV. What's happening, captains? This is The Media Prince, entertainment journalist, and owner of TheMediaPrince.com. And we here at Smack Life.
So you from the city?
Correct.
You from the south side?
South side, yes, sir.
Alright, so what was that like growing up?
Definitely not life now. As I look back and reflect, it didn't really seem like abnormal then, because growing up in the hood, it just looks like life. So I had a pretty good life in the hood, just didn't realize I was living in the hood. But definitely saw my share of crackheads, violence. Definitely seen somebody get killed in front of me before. Definitely, tried to step into that lifestyle. Learned early it wasn't for me. Just a normal, regular hood stories. Nothing too out of the ordinary other than we were poor, Section 8. But my mother may end up allowing to make ends meet some way, somehow. And that was it in a nutshell. Aunts and uncles who I thought was, just regular people ended up learning as I got older, they was like crackheads. Like transactions were happening under my doorstep. But when you in the hood, if your parents shelter you right within the hood, it's certain shit you're not gonna know until you get older. But honestly, relatively good childhood, just poor.
Where you graduate from high school from?
I went to Forestville Military Academy.
Oh wow, he was OPG.
Yeah, so once mom's got some, she ended up started working for Metro, and that was at every Wednesday check. We moved once we got in Maryland, we moved every freaking where, and we didn't want to go to any. So they thought Forestville was about to be like the new Je ne sais quoi school because it was military.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, that's probably gonna be like a prep school. It's probably gonna be like, but nope. It was just Suitland High School with a uniform.
No, for real. Okay.
But the spark of the Media Prince started there, honestly, because my 11th grade teacher, her name was Miss Bryant. Back then, I couldn't stand her guts, but looking back, I'm like, damn, she was on to something. She sparked my interest for writing and like telling a story when I write.
Yeah.
So, it definitely had its good thing there. It was neat. I just ain't realize it.
You went to HBCU.
Mm-hmm. I went to John C. Smith out Charlotte, North Carolina.
What made you choose going to HBCU?
That was the only way. Honestly, I didn't want to go to PWI. Honestly, I had much rather just being around my people until it was time to go to like corporate America. Other than that, I liked experiencing life with my people. And honestly, looking at statistics and actually being considered a student and looked out for versus just a number and a quota, it made sense. And honestly, I'm glad I went to a HBCU. It's an experience you'll never get anywhere else from like every freaking walk of life, man. Honestly, that was it. I ain't think of no other. I never thought of a PWI. Never was in my mind, to be honest.
That's alright.
Yeah.
What made you want to go to college though? Cause a lot of people they graduate and then.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna probably say once I became like an honor roll student in school, and being like the one in the family that was like consistently doing well in school, it just made sense. My next venture would be higher education. I definitely wasn't about to graduate high school and go straight to work or go to like a tech school or like one of those, like DeVry or something.
Yeah.
And not saying, it's nothing wrong with getting a trade. Didn't really see myself in that realm. So
right.
Literally college was like the only option. Like literally that's how I planned everything out. It wasn't like I purposely did that. I guess it was just fate. Like literally I knew I was going to school. Up into the 12th grade, I knew I was going to college. Now, graduate school, I knew I wasn't going there after college.
Nah, no funny.
But I did know I was going to college.
Yeah, I went to Morgan. I graduated from Morgan.
Hey.
HBCU for real.
Hey. Cause y'all what is Morgan? What are y'all? MEAC?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so we've never. The closest thing we got to do, like, get to home was Bowie State. They would CIAA with us, so Bowie State would come to Charlotte to play. All the DMV people would like slide over to their side, like catching that with friends and like, yeah.
Nah, that shit. It was tough because they had Go-Go's out Baltimore, bro. So you already know it was lit out there, Joe.
Yeah.
Cause you far away from home, so ain't too much. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta worry about too much.
Facts.
All right, so fast forward to what year you graduate?
2012.
All right, so 2015 is when you started your entity, right?
Correct.
All right, and what made you jump out there and be your own entrepreneur?
Honestly, first stunting because I wanted to compete with like my other classmates that was working. That was one. Two, I was tired of begging to put people on. And then honestly, three, which kind of trumped everything. I was tired of waiting. Like literally, the opportunity wasn't coming, so I had to create it.
All right, so you call yourself the Media Prince. Where that name come from?
God, okay. I promise you, there was no thought, no nothing. I literally said on Instagram. It was funny because I was just scrolling through my page. I found a post. I'm gonna post it. I just said working on MediaPrince.com. That's literally it. That's how I started with that idea, and I never changed from it. Literally, that was just it. Media Prince, and of course, I just said the Media Prince, but Media Prince was like from the get go.
Yeah.
Like no thought, no nothing. Literally, dang, like literally.
And joint just hit you.
Just hit you.
All right, so is there like who do you consider somebody a king? Or that's where you aspire? You know what I'm saying?
Right now, no.
No,
I can't. And a lot of people ask me that too. Like, why not Media King? Because I feel like once you get king, that's like the end all be all. There's no more room to grow or learn.
Right.
The prince is always learning, always growing, and always going up. So right now, the king ain't till I get about 85. Then I'm gonna just say it is what it is. We the Media King.
Yeah. So how your journey began? So when companies start, when people jump out there to be entrepreneurs and build their own thing, it's like these obstacles or building blocks. You know what I'm saying? So how was your journey?
Honestly, and I don't want to just sound cliche, but the journey was kind of like organic. It was just like I didn't look at it as like creating or being an entrepreneur or like creating a facet. I just was like, I want to do something that allow me to share. Like it's like a hobby. Like I was able to write things that I love, talk about the music that I like, and showcase talent that doesn't get to be seen. So it was just more like a living out what I went to school for. So it really didn't feel like I was stepping out there creating like a brand or an entrepreneur or like going in that realm of creating your own business. It just was fun, like, and a hobby. Like, I couldn't wait to write. I couldn't wait to, like, listen to this new music. I couldn't wait to, like, put this artist on I found out about. And then it wasn't until, like, a year later that I started to see, like, okay, this is, like, a business. Then it was just like, okay, let me see to what degree do I need to make sure everything is paid for, trademarked, registered, what needs to be patented, how do I need to do the website. But, honestly, that really wasn't hard either because I had already created something. At that point, it was just sealing the deal of what I already created out of a hobby, niche, fun world.
Who's some of your top go-go bands?
My top go-go bands, I think, of course, the Backyard.
Yeah, got to.
Junkyard Band, Legacy. That's a legacy band right there.
Yeah.
EU. What was Chuck Brown's band?
Soul Searchers.
They're in there.
They be cranking like, they crank.
What's the band called? That Mumbo Sauce.
They had.
And we have to give them their flowers because they were the first group that was able to kind of get their feet wet where GoGo could go mainstream.
No, for real.
And then, what am I at for? So I had Backyard, Junkyard,
EU, Momo Souls.
Momo Souls, and I said Chuck Brown's band. That's 5. And then, dang, can I do an honorary group that just has to go no matter what?
Yeah, man.
CCB.
Man.
CCB, like the way My Fatty and Sexy and they got Sexy. That's them that do Sexy Lady too, right? Yeah. The way that like that's like something they still use. I think Megan Thee Stallion just used that in like one of her like virtual shows last year. It's like that's like a universal song. You get what I'm saying? So yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, you gotta quit them. So that's the top 6. That's it.
That's a lit top 6. That's lit. All of them will get the party going. You hear me?
They definitely would get the party going.
What you think that's missing from making Go more commercial?
I think what's missing, honestly, is just the right team of people that know how to penetrate the commercial market and how to take it there. It's like we get there a little teeny bit, but then no one like drives it all the way in. Like, cause we've had our fair share of mainstream moments from like Amerie's One Thing, like that was freaking huge, and you know that was GoGo. Yeah. Then that transcended into Toni Braxton. She had this song called like This Ring, which was like another Amerie moment. You know, she's from like DMV Annapolis area, so that's like here still. Chris Brown tried to do it one time, even though that was around the time we were still like, is Tappahannock really like? But at this point, yes, we claiming Tappahannock. So we've had Wale, of course, like Chuck Brown, the BT Awards a few years ago. Like we've had our share of
BT Awards this year. Taraji P hosted that joint.
Oh, she did. She really did. So we've had our share of like mainstream moments. It's just actually solidifying it and keeping it going. It's like it's always a stagnant. It's like we hit a peak, and then there's planning because it's like we hit a peak, and then there's like no continuation after that peak. It's like it stops here, but no one plans for it to like how can we renovate it? How can we not renovate, reinvent? How can we reinvent it? How can we take it to the next level? How can we make it more creative? What artists can really pour into this? What management companies and labels and A&Rs and producers can really master this sound and take it to the next realm of artists that could really like keep this thing going? So, you know, that's probably why. Will it get there? Who knows? But right now, I think we're at a great spot because everyone is appreciating DC in all its facets. And of course, most heavily is GoGo. So that's like the anchor. So, and GoGo is becoming something that everyone is appreciating. And then so many new walks of life are coming to DC and taking that with them. And they're going home. Have you heard this? Like,
yeah.
You heard this GoGo band? You know, so it's like, you know, you get what I'm saying? So, honestly, I just say keep it going. Keep creating. Like, I think Mochella is great. It's another stab at, that's going to potentially become a festival where people are coming in town to really experience the GoGo experience in a festival realm. So, I just say keep creating, keep doing, and don't stop. Because we definitely hit a peak where GoGo, I'm not gonna say GoGo ever left because it never did, but there was a peak where it was like GoGo was GoGo was your weekend. Literally, like you would literally have your whole week, do your whole week. You either going to the Thai Seafood, the CFE, the Mad Chef, Icon, Lord, all them trips to Waldorf. I remember going out there just to turn up, and that was literally your weekend. That's how you planned it. And of course, in the downtime, like GoGo bands still play like older crowds, like Familiar Faces, Subtle Thoughts, La Belladonna. Those bands, like, you know, at Martinis and things like that, still thrive. But you know, we're now getting into that age group where we can now experience those, and those give you like a like going to cabarets and like GoGo stuff with my mom, like gives me a taste of what their GoGos were like. And you could definitely tell that they came from an era where they went to really rock out and then go home because they got stuff to do tomorrow. Whereas we was definitely in that era where you might get pepper sprayed tonight. You might get stabbed tonight. Might get robbed tonight. You might get jumped tonight. You might fight tonight. Or you just might end up at Denny's and just turn up. Like, so, you know, it's different experiences. But I think where we at now with GoGo is definitely on the rise. Like, if you're paying attention, it's definitely on the rise right now.
Who was your first interview?
My first interview ever was, it was an entity called DBMG. I know Shaq James, which is Super Tripper, Lee James, Lee DeVito, I'm sorry, I said Lee James, I put James in. Lee DeVito, Full Loke, and Hollywood's Swug. And if everybody knows who Tripper is at this point, he's like every freaking way. But that's my first interview in that was right after I won my first Titan Award. They were my first like sit down interview, because I did interviews before, but it was like on paper. Now paper wise, editorial wise, my first interview might have been G-Town Wayne, but on camera it was DBMG.
Okay, that's tough. Shout out to you for winning the Titan Award, man.
Appreciate it.
No question. Transcending. You know what I'm saying? You've been featured on different established broadcasts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mom Deuce be watching the TMZ, man. I know she gonna be like, "Oh, you interviewed that?" You know what I'm saying? So like,
which is crazy. That took a life of its own.
Man, so how did that happen?
It actually happened through a friend of mine who was actually a writer at one time for the Media Print. She also works at ABC. Her name is Nichelle J. And she's with TMZ too, but she got so much going on. She got the ABC, she got her own accessory line, Shopee and she also writes, like freelance writes. So she was like, one day she was like, "Hey, you want to go on TMZ?" And what was crazy is because I was low key speaking it like I would love to go on TMZ.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, but I didn't really know the steps to get on there, like if they even looking. She was like, yeah. She was like, send them a request, and then tell them I suggested you, and literally the rest is history. Now we going on 3 years, so you know, a nice leverage to just also be seen in a different facet of what we can do here in media. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely a good look. You representing, bro. You ain't making us look wild out there.
Appreciate it. No, we can't look wild. We got to look like what we're supposed to look like, which is authentic, greatness, creativity, art, entertainment, like government, politics. Like, we're literally the nation's capital. We got to look like, and it goes beyond just D.C. Literally, Maryland and Virginia, you know, whether they want to or not, they are the anchors of D.C. So it's like this whole area gets stamped at where DC gets all of its culture from. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, at this point, DC is a combination of Virginia, Maryland, and DC in all facets. So it's like, if you go and put your city on or where you come from, and I represent a trifecta, just like people represent Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. Was that the tri-state?
Yeah.
We the tri area. This is the metropolitan area, you know, DMV. So it's greatness here. Literally, it's really greatness here. So I gotta be responsible with what I show, what comes from here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, and it's been an honor to put the city on in a dynamic light. I mean, seeing where we can go on our own merit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's some artists from around here in the DMV area that you like, that you think they got good sound?
Young E-Class.
Right, different, bro.
Kingpin Slim. Dayon Green. Flex Cartel. A Day.
He dropped the balls.
Nico Miles. Stymie. Lady Dame. Miss Kanaya. Killer Keisha. It's so many. I could just keep going on.
Yeah.
As they come in my head, I'm just gonna shoot them out. Big Flock. Journey Love. I'm sorry. FM. Oh, we have some really talented IDK, Logic, GoLink. We have amazing artists in Baltimore too. Takeo Bang, because I'm claiming, well, that's all of us.
Yeah.
In VA, you got Crown Vic, Sincerest Don. Well, the list goes on. The abundance, like, and when that's why I did stuff like I had a countdown called Who's Next DMV, and I literally sat back and put the countdown, because the idea was like bringing one of us in pocket, which it will be coming back soon. We're just getting logistics together of how we're shooting it this season. But I put it on my TV and literally just sat back and just watched the collection of sounds and videos we got here. We got some dope ass talent here. Dope ass talent. O Slice, R Mojo, Maya Milan. Like, Lord, the list go on how much talent, and just actually watching it back to back to just see like how much authentic talent we have here that doesn't have to chase a sound. They just have to literally be themselves and put that in music. It's magic, bro. It's magic. It's magic. It's magic. It's magic. It's crazy. Oh, and Ari Lennox, of course. Rico Nasty. Wale. You know, the big people. They still have to get, you know, named too, because they represent this area to the fullest. Like, they say it. Like, when you see them, you hear us. So that's beautiful.
We get your fashion, bro. Like the glass, I told you, the glass game be crazy, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Appreciate you. Which just, I don't know. God,
Yes.
I feel like this is how. I feel like this is how Jesus looked. Coolest ever. Took over the room by accident. Just who he is. But no, fashion sense, honestly, that's just from everywhere, literally. It just takes from, you know, our area is known for already being a trendsetter. So just like taking inspirations of seeing like my grandmother's being so freaking fashionable in church, and then like seeing the deacons dress up in their vicious, fresh suits, and then like balancing that urban look of like seeing my uncles wear them sabiados, just like merging so many different types of styles together. Just I'm able to just create a look, and the glasses are just like an extension of the look, whatever I'm wearing. Like, I have a collection of shades, clearly a collection of fedoras, bucket hats. Then that's how I just dress up my look, whatever look I'm going for. So it could be either extra suave, extra dapper, extra urban, extra chic, just whatever mood I'm feeling. Today I'm just feeling chilled. Like if you pay attention to my look, it's just summertime. It's just like I'm feeling the button-ups, the tanks, the jewelry, the glasses, the hat. Not too much, but still enough to like make all the eyes turn around when I come in. I appreciate you for having me, man. Like, this is an honor, and thank you for creating. This is how it is. You creating something to give an outlet to voices that don't usually get to be heard. So, you know. And for the people that's tuning in, subscribe to themediaprince.com. Subscribe to my YouTube. I'm the Media Prince everywhere. Also get my book. Hey. It's out now everywhere.
What's the name of your book?
It's called Then I Was Canceled. Motivational quotes for triumph and success. Okay. And I hope when you read this book, you too can succeed in the cancellation of anything. Yes,